Hey guys, welcome to my channel Bit Glenn. My name's Glenn and I like to share with you what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. I just want to do a sort of tutorial or showing you how I stake my coins on the platform Hex. So let's get right into it. Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to give this video a like and click the subscribe button if you're new. Thank you to all the new subscribers that we've got recently. Me doing these videos over the last week or so has sort of bumped up my subscriber base, got it kick-started again, so it proves that it does work putting in the graft. So today we're going to be looking at depositing Hex onto the Hex platform to stake the coins. Now someone messaged me the other day and said, Glenn, how do I go about staking them? Obviously I've done this video here about how to cash out. That was the first video I've done about Hex really, which I don't know, take it as you will, but obviously I took some profits out of Hex and I've kept the remaining balance there. So I've got about $1,400 US worth of Hex. But what am I going to do with that? Since I've bought it, it's just been sitting there. But that's not what Hex was made for. And I've actually been waiting for this video, me to make this video, so I can share with you guys how I go about staking. Please don't take any of this as financial advice. Do your own research. Obviously, you're putting your own capital at risk, all that sort of palaver. But this is just my views and what I believe is the best way forward for my financial situation. So this was my video about how to cash out, doing a bit of a YouTube video inception, a video within a video. But what if we go down to the bottom here, you can see here that I've got my link here. It is a referral link, but if you click on that, it takes you over to the Hex platform anyway, and you can go down to gohex.win, and that takes you to the transform page where you can transform your Ethereum into Hex. Let's just check out today quickly. Day 154, there has been 15,000 Ethereum sent to Hex to generate today's allocated amount of Hex. So, and we've still got 9 hours to go, so I assume that's going to hit the sort of 17,000 Ethereum mark, so that's a massive big jump. But anyway, that's good news for the platform. It shows that it is working. But we're going to go over to the stake tab. Now the stake tab shows you everything that you can earn for staking the coins, obviously. So because I have my MetaMask joined up with the Hex platform, you can see up here, and I have all my Hex tokens here. It matches up with what the website says that I have available, so that's really easy to use. I did put the link in my last video for the free download of MetaMask. It's a free software to use. Here we have, I just want to explain this bit here and this bit here. It is quite complicated, and even I haven't got my head around some of the numbers, and I need to sit down and really do some research and really do some deep diving into the actual multipliers so that I can best utilize strategies within the Hex platform. And I'll touch over what I mean by that in a second. So with Hex, I'm going to do a stake. Let's just say, for example, 10,000 Hex. Now that sounds like a big number, but as of today, I believe the price of Hex times 0.00, I think it's 4.2. I think it's dipped today, maybe 4.4. Let's say 4.2. It's about $42 worth, depending on the price on the app. So that's $42 worth of Hex tokens. So if you're thinking, oh, you know, I don't really want to invest in a platform like that, I ain't really got much money, you literally can send them like 0.1 of an Ethereum, and you will get Hex that day if you want to take part in the transform for each day. So let's say we've put in this $42 worth of Hex, and then you have to decide, right, how long do I want to stake it for? Now if you want, you can stake it for 1 day, you can stake it for 2 days, you can stake it, I believe, something like 5,000 days or something like something crazy. The longer you stake for, the better rewards. And what I mean by that, if I just show you, so if I was to stake 10,000 Hex coins over 10 days, I would actually generate 49 extra Hex. But if I was to make this 100 days, you would expect that really, if it was just a simple mathematical equation, a percentage, I would then get 10 times more. So really I should have had 490 Hex. But it isn't. It jumps up to 543.956. Now, why is that? That is because within the contract, they have made it so that the longer you stake for, the more multipliers you qualify for. So you will receive more hex for the longer you stake for. Now this has spurred people on to stake for, if you go on the hex.live page, some people are staking for 10 years, 12 years, something crazy like that. I'm not thinking that far into the future, but it just goes to show that this platform is geared towards the longevity of it. It isn't like you put money in today, you get money out tomorrow. You can do that if you want to, but you are incentivized to stake for longer. The same goes with this one here, which is the bigger pays better. The more hex you put in, so if I was to add an extra 0 on here, the amount of hex that I get, you think would just go up by 1 0, because obviously I'm doing 10 times the amount, but it doesn't. It actually goes up 2 lots of zeros, and that's because you qualify for obviously multipliers that would give you a better reward for staking bigger amounts over longer time. Doesn't mean you have to. Don't think, oh well, I haven't got huge amounts so then I can't get involved. You can get involved. Like I said, you can put in $20 worth if you want and stake it for longer. That means you're betting a very small amount of money, but obviously over a long period of time that will add up to quite a large amount. And if the price is going up, you're multiplying, because the price of the asset is rising as at the same time that you're accumulating more of the asset. So it's like saying houses always go up in value. Every year I'm gaining another house. All the properties are going to go up in value. So, you know, you're doing well in life if you can get an asset that goes up in price and you're accumulating more of it. So this is like a passive income, I suppose, if you like. But there's no guarantees for that. Please don't take that as I just said that state hex is definitely going to go up. It can go down, so you can have a lot more of nothing. So just bear that in mind. When you come to picking how many days you want to stake for, you have to look at your own financial situation. Now, if you're putting in an amount of money that you may need one day, you may be putting money on a credit card or borrowing money off someone, or I don't know, using your life savings or something like that, you're going to have a lot of emotion tied to that money. So I know that this is a cheesy saying that people say in crypto, but it really is 100% true. Only invest what you're willing to lose. Now that makes sense because you're then covering yourself if it goes to 0, which I completely agree with. But then you're also, I believe, this is something that not many people talk about, you're taking the emotion away from that money. If I was to walk down the street and 5p fell out of my pocket, I don't really care. But if a £50 note fell out of my pocket, I will spend hours searching for that £50 note. I will retrace all my steps because there's a lot more emotion riding on me finding that £50 note. Now, if you're looking to invest in a high risk sort of new start-up cryptocurrency, it's probably like that whole sentence was just a mouthful of risk. You are then compounding that by saying, okay, I'm going to invest into this platform and I'm going to commit into a smart contract, say I will definitely hold it for that amount of time. So the emotion there is very high. If the price of Hex goes up, then you're happy to hold. Everyone will be happy to hold. If the price all of a sudden goes down, you're then going to be very emotionally charged to go in and click end stake. So I'm actually going to do a video about that. I'm going to create a stake and I'm purposely going to end it to see what the fees would be and stuff like that and how it would affect me. So I'm going to do that in a video for you guys. But let's say that I was to stake for 100 days. If you start getting into a point where you need that money back, and say you're 50 days into it, what will happen is the amount of interest that you would have earned, so where it says here effective Hex, I'm just going to lay out some examples. These aren't exact figures, but let's say I was to, in my mind, I think I'm getting 10,554 Hex. If I then cancel halfway through that, I will only get half of that interest. So let's say I got 10,260. But actually worse than that, let's say I was to put in a stake for 100 days, but after 3 days I decide, oh, do you know what, I'm going to cancel. Not only will you lose all the interest of the Hex you would have earned, but it actually will start deducting money from my principal. So this is where you need to really think about how much do you want to invest and over how long. It's a very important decision to really think about. Don't just create stakes for no reason, because what will happen is the price will drop at some point, and I know that, you guys know that the price is going to drop at some point. It's obviously continuously going up like this at the moment, but it will drop and we'll have a 30-40% correction, maybe even 70%, whatever. What is then going to compound the problem is that people are going to come on this platform and go, oh shit, it's tanking, oh I better end my stake today. So then you're going to lose some of your principal as well as the interest you should have earned, and then you're going to try and sell it.
When you made that video, you got to come and have dinner.
Okay, mate. Thank you. I've got to go and have dinner apparently. You're then going to try and sell it at obviously the lower rate, which obviously then you have to worry about ending the stake, getting the coins back into MetaMask, sending it over to Uniswap or an exchange, then doing that whole process like I showed yesterday, then getting it over to Coinbase, then cashing out or whatever. So that is going to be a lengthy process, and you're going to lose every direction. You're going to be losing fees and money and price dropping in. So we don't want to do that. We want to stay clear of that. So we need to think, right, okay, like myself, I've taken profit out of this. Now the coins that I have left in Hex, I don't care if they go to zero. If they go to zero, I'll go, everyone was right. Or if it goes the other way and it goes up to 1-2 cents, then I'll be absolutely laughing and I'll be able to say to them people, I told you so, because you've gained more of the asset while it was increasing. So that's like a double win. So let's try this out. Let's do a 10,000 hex stake over 100 days. I'm going to click stake on that. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up my MetaMask wallet, which I have here. It's saying this is the gas fees for sending that amount of money over. I'm actually going to click on fast just for the purposes of me editing this video. If you're not actually that much in a rush, I would suggest lowering them fees down to whatever the lowest is. It may take half hour for it to go through, but who cares? The way that this works is that you put money in today, and as soon as the clock starts for tomorrow, that is when your stake starts, I believe. So as with the day that the transform happens, that also restarts the clock ticking for tomorrow at the beginning of the next day. So you have to bear this in mind, because also on the 10th day you have to wait until the full day end. You can't wake up and be like, oh, it's the 10th day today, I'm going to end my stake. It doesn't work like that. You have to wait until the full 10 days is finished. So really you can't withdraw that money till the 11th day. So this is the end stake button that I was talking about. It will tell you what your fees, your penalty charges are going to be for ending that stake. But we're not going to do that just yet. I'm going to give it sort of 2 days, because then I'm sort of 20% into it. And then that way we can actually determine, okay, well this is the forfeit for doing that. And I can share that with you guys on a video. But let's say I want to stake more than that. So I've got 300,000 coins. I've just staked 10,000 of them. If you want to stake even longer, which it isn't actually that far away now, you have this other section here. Now this is only applying for the first year that Hex has been created, so just bear that in mind. We're currently in day 143, so we're essentially halfway through that. So actually you've got about 6 or 7 months left of receiving this big payday Hex payout on the day 353, I believe it is. So if I was to stake, say I now have 314, let's say I want to stake 200,000 hex. This is the hex that I will generate, effective hex. Obviously I haven't put in the number of days yet. The day until the big payday, I believe, is 198. Now, it says here that I will generate 21,784 hex. So that's that done. And that side of hex, I believe, is going to stay the same even after the first year. So this will always be the platform of hex and how you generate more hex. But this bit here, I believe, only applies to the first year of it. And this is the big payday. So this is all the people that could have claimed their free hex tokens from Bitcoin are going to get shared out between everyone who's staking past this date. Now, because I'm doing it sort of at an earlier stage, if you like, you get a larger piece of the pie. So out of my 221,000 at that point, I will actually end up receiving 400 114,000. So I will be doubling the amount of hex that I started with today, and obviously I hope, fingers crossed, that it goes up in price. Now you've also got a bit bear in mind when doing this. This is again another layer of risk, is that you're going to have a lot of people that are receiving double the amount of something all on the same day. Now you can imagine, obviously those people are then going to cash out for Bitcoin, Ethereum or whatever to then cash out and get their money out. So you can imagine that there's going to be a massive volatility on that day, or in actual what we're all thinking, a dump. So there's going to be a huge dump that day. So selling your coins on that day may not be the best idea, but then you are doubling the amount of coins that you've got. So the best way that I can think about this is, imagine if you bought Bitcoin at $100 and someone guaranteed you that you was going to have, but then Bitcoin went on a massive run and it was up to 10,000. If it dropped 50% down to 4,000, are you going to care? No. I just did that as if you all were all talking through your YouTube videos. So that's something that I've been thinking about. You know, the way that Hex has been performing, unless it dropped below where it is now, then I'll be like, you know, it'd have to actually drop half of where it is now for me to lose out. Because obviously if I'm staking this today at the price of, let's just say, so I'm staking 200,000. I just want to make sure that you guys understand this, and I'm making sure that I understand it. If I was to sell that today, so if I was to sell that today, it would be worth 0.0042, let's just say. So $840 worth, yeah? For me to get that $840 worth, if I then end up with 414,484, I would need it to drop below a point of 0.0021, and I'd still be up. So I need it to drop by about 60% from today's price, not in the whatever it is in the future, from today's price, for me to lose out. Obviously I hope that even if we stay where we are, let's say the price stays at exactly where it is in 6 or 8 months time, which I very much doubt that it will. Why do you say that? Because we have the Bitcoin halvening, and we know that when one crypto goes up, they typically all follow each other. This one has been a hedge against those recently, but it may fall in line with all the other altcoins out there. So I honestly believe Bitcoin's going to go up due to the halvening this year, and that's not going to really kick in till the end of this year, so sort of heading towards December time. So let's just say that we stay exactly where we are. I'm going to end up with 414,484 times 0.0042. I'm going to end up with $1,740 worth out of my initial investment of $860. So I'm really happy with that. I see this not as a safe bet. It's not. It's very high risk, but I'm happy with that. And because I took that profit out at the beginning, I don't care if this goes to zero. I'm not going to wake up and think, oh my god, I really need that hex, I need to withdraw that money. I'm not going to think, oh shit, I need to pay my credit card off with that. This is just all free money for me at this point. So, but your situation will be different to mine, so please really sit down and think about this. And the reason I'm really emphasizing that is because I would hate in 10 weeks time people to start messaging me on this video, which obviously you're more than welcome to. I love to hear the good and bad. People saying, oh, I lost all my money on this, or I lost half my money on this, I wish I never did it because I staked for 10 years but then I cancelled it after 6 months. Really think about your personal circumstances. And I know you can't predict for the future, but then only invest what you're willing to lose. If you only invest what you're willing to lose, it won't matter what happens in your life because you already writ that money off. So I don't know, that's just, you don't have to take my advice, but that's the best advice I can give. So let's stake this then for 199 days. Actually, let's do it for a nice round 200 days. So I'm actually going to receive this money because there is going to be high volatility on that day that everyone sells their token. So let's say I get mine the day after, and let's stake that. Let's see how much that costs us in. MetaMask fees or Ethereum gas. So 14 cent. Again, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to up that to 21 cent. And we're going to confirm that. Right, so that's going to be me with only 114,000 hex left. What do I do with that 114? Bit of a tough one, really. Obviously, I don't want it just sitting in my wallet doing nothing. I might as well stake it, but maybe for like a mid-term stake. So that way I've got one very short stake, I've got one medium stake, and I've also got a very large stake, in my opinion. You may be watching this thinking, oh, $800 is nothing. Let's do the max, or let's do it. No, I won't do the max actually. I'm going to do 50,000 hex, and I'm going to do it for 90 days. That's 3 months. I don't qualify for, obviously, for the big payday because I'm not past the date of the big payday, but that's saying that I will gain 2,000 hex from that. So let's stake that. I'm going to make the fees higher for that. I recommend that you wait for it to confirm before you start refreshing the page or going off and doing other sites, because I done that the other day. It didn't mess anything up, but what happens is this refreshes and it's still happening in the background. So you have to wait for MetaMask to, there you go, it says confirm there, but you have to wait for it to properly confirm. So there we go. So I now have a 3-month stake, a 10-day stake, and a, what is 100, what did I do it? 200 days. It's 200 days divided by 30. 200, about 6.5 months. So that's going to take us obviously up till around about Christmas time, and that's when I believe Bitcoin will really start having its bull market again. And I've got 60,000 hex, so let's do the max now, and we're going to do length of days. What should we do for this one, guys? I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, I'll leave that up to you guys. Send me a comment down below saying, Glenn, you should stake it for this amount of days. 64,724 hex. How long should I stake that for, guys? I want you guys to tell me, and next time I do a video about it, which will be in a couple days time, I will actually perform whatever gets the most comments, length of days. I know that a lot of you jokers out there are going to say something like do it over 10 years, which some people do. Some people actually stake their coins for that long. I wonder how much you would get actually. Let's what's 10 years over 350 days? So it's my 64,000 would turn into, I would get 353,000 from the big payday. Yeah. It's fun actually to sit here and look at these. I was doing this the other day, just looking at what you would get for that certain amount. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. That's how you stake. Now, all I have to do is just sit and wait, and it actually comes up with a percentage. So you can see here, as each day goes past, it will tell you what percentage you're into that stake. So like this one, when I first did it, the first day was like, you know, 10-20% or whatever, and it goes up every single day for you, obviously until 100%. Then a little button here says exit, which means, and it's green, so it's very visualizing, like that's good. You can take that money out and it goes back into your MetaMask wallet, or you can click this red button here with end stake, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to purposely end this 10,000 stake. It's $42 worth. I'm going to end that in 2 days time. So what's today? Today is Monday, so it'll be Wednesday. I'll do another video of me ending this stake, and we'll see if it actually eats into my principal of 10,000x, and if so, how much. I know that there's probably a white paper, or Richard Hart's put it all mathematically, but I learn by doing. I'm actually a doer, so I'm gonna actually do it and see what I actually end up with, so I'll know what my fees would be going forward. So that's it from me, guys. If you'd like that video, please smash that like button. It really helps with my channel. If you're new to this channel as well, my name's Big Glenn. I do videos all about different cryptocurrencies that I personally find interesting, so please click that subscribe button for more content. I'm not just all about Hex. I still believe Bitcoin is the future, so I do content a lot about that. We've done a crypto.com sort of learning experience last night, which I posted by the time you watch this last night, and hopefully I should be receiving my crypto card soon. I staked $250 worth of MCO coin with that. I don't know if I earn any interest or anything off that actually, so Probably something I should look into, but at least with Hex, you've got the facts and figures in front of you right there and then. If you do want to invest in Hex, and this is only if you do, please click on my little referral link down below. You receive 10% more Hex than you should receive, depending on how much Ethereum you post on this transform page. And then I also receive 10% of what you would put in as well. So if you don't follow anyone's link, you don't get the 10%. I invested. I wish I clicked on someone's link because I didn't get the extra 10%. So I would have an extra 35,000 Hex at least now if I had clicked on someone's link. So click the link below if you're going to invest, and I'll see you guys on the next video from Bitcoin. Bye.